Hi everyone, today we are going to give a presentation on our report on Aave, and here is our content. I will be covering the first part, which focuses on its protocol design, features, evolution, and decentralization. Aave is one of the leading decentralized lending protocol in DeFi. What makes it different is that users can lend and borrow crypto directly without banks or intermediaries. By interacting with smart contracts, it uses a liquidity pool model. Lenders provide access into shared pools to earn interest and borrows from draw from those same pools. This structure makes capital more efficient and accessible. Aave stands out for three core reasons. First, it offers flexible lending, supporting a wide variety of assets and giving users a choice between stable and variable interest rate. Second, it has strong risk management features. Isolation model helps contain risk assets. In model allows more borrowing for correlated assets, and the safety model uses staked Aave tokens to cover protocol losses. Third, Aave is highly cross-chain compatible. With the portal features introduced in version 3, users can transfer assets across different networks like Ethereum, Polygon, and Arbitrum. This expands its reach and compatibility across the DeFi ecosystem. Aave has evolved significantly through its three main versions. Version 1 introduced core lending and flash loans, loans that require no collateral but must be repaid within the same block. Version 2 improved usability with features like collateral repayment and interest rate switching. Version 3 added cross-chain functionality through Portal and improved risk controls with isolation model and E-model. Each upgrade made Aave more efficient, safer, and scalable. Although is governed by a DAO, decentralized has its limits. First, governance power is concentrated. Over 40% of voting power is held by just five addresses, which raises concerns about fairness and influences. Second, while the project is open resource, most development is still done by the core team, not the broader community. And third, governance participation is low, and the protocol relies heavily on chain-link oracles. In past market crashes, delays in oracle updated cause unexpected liquidations. Arbitrance reintroduced multi-order oracle support to reduce the risk, but it's still a point of vulnerability. That's the end of my section. Thanks for listening, and I will now hand over to my next speaker to dive into the Aave token structures and governance rule.
So let's talk about Aave tokens. Aave operates with two primary tokens. Aave token is a protocol native governance token. It supports voting on communities governance and provide incentives. Users can stake Aave tokens as a backstop during financial shortfalls. In contrast, GHO is Aave's native stable coins. While it didn't hold a governance power, it strengthens ecosystem liquidities. Users can mine GHO through over collateralization and access it incentively via Flash Mine, which is unique features for borrowing within single transactions. Without Aave tokens, this protocol would lose its decentralized governance capabilities, weakening its ability to self-govern and maintain sustainability. The lack of incentive mechanism will lead to fair participation. So, the originally uh, Aave tokens wasn't pre-mined. It evolved from the non-token used in 2017, while early holding were centralized. Governance has since transitioned to the DAN mode, and the transparencies in governance reduce the wall effect. So one of the RV most notable innovation is Flash No, which is allowed borrowing without collateral. It supports advanced strategies, but it requires technique, knowledge, and smart contrast the interaction. So the E-mode allowed users to obtain higher borrowing and need compatibilities between access and high price correlation. Isolation mode and solid borrowings refined the risk isolation manages of access. So, in addition, we trace the portal factions realize cross-chain access circulations for the first times. Aave is a high originals defined protocols. It liquidity power it's created as become models for our project to imitate full access control, avoid trust relative risk. So as the financial tools, GHL contribute a greater ecosystem stabilities. So however, systems complexities create a higher barrier to enter. Insufficient decentralization lead to governance decisions favor interest group. Moreover, reliance on external oracles could lead to unexpected liquidations of users' access if price need lag. So to move forward, always should focus on enhanced governance participations, improve users' experience, and expand the GHL's Reliance World use case. This is under my part. Let's go to the other person.
Now I will walk you through a few risk scenarios that could lead to the failure of Aave protocol. So scenario one, liquidity risk. A part of the user in Aave act like both hard and long of the protocol. Over 60% of the liquidity flow through the borrowers who also supply the asset. These dual role users enhance the capital efficiency but pose the systemic risk during the price drops. If they withdraw the collateral or failure to replay the loans simultaneously, the liquidity can collapse. Plus, under the RV's isolation mode, users are limited to train currency, making the liquidity more difficult when bad things happen. And now move on to scenario 2, called Oracle and liquidation risk. Let's briefly explain the RV's liquidation with this picture first. When a user's healthy factor drops below 1, their collateral no longer cover the loss, triggering the liquidation. For example, 78% is the threshold in this condition. When the Bitcoin price is less than 34,000, the user is not allowed to borrow more here. The liquidator will receive 5 to 10% of the bad debt as a bonus and incentivizing their contribution. In 2022, Aave suffered a real exploit with CRV tokens. A trader borrowed large amount of the illiquid CRV tokens, sold them on the DEX at a lower price, and caused a fake liquidation. The Oracle delay leading to a 1.6 million loss, whereas the liquidators failed to respond quickly. Then the RV set a 50% liquidation to make up for the lost tokens, but enabled the excessive arbitrage. After that, the RV3 update the borrow caps and isolation mode to prevent such volatility. And scenario 3 is the governance risk. As the decentralized protocol, Aave does not enforce on-chain AML or KYC, but it's still a governance-facing challenge like the voter centralization, low participation, and unclear incentives. Also, Aave is deployed cross-chains like the Ethereum, Polygon, and App Store, but lacks native bridge and rely on the third-party server that it cannot control. If these breaches are attract, the RVs cannot intervene and will explore a governance failure. And in conclusion, the RV's innovation like the flash loans and emos are the great breaking, but the risk from the liquidity contingents, Oracle delay, and the governance falls remain. Fortunately, the RV's currently emerging proposal on the parameter optimization and the risk control will drive a better community in the future. And that's all our presentation. Thank you for your watching.